Hello, welcome to the Showboys Newscast, bringing you all news and no opinion. I'm Mike.
And I'm Nick.
Thanks for joining us. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. But before we do, I don't want to, toot my own horn or anything.
Yikes.
But man, that intro is just a banger.
Banger. I forget what Erin was watching, but she was like, "This sounds like your guys' intro." So someone's out there ripping on our stuff.
Yo, we're going to have to get our legal team on that. But anyways, to the news. First article coming up here for you guys. We have some Rocketeer news. So, back in the day, there was a movie called The Rocketeer. And it's going to be getting a Disney Plus movie. So the pulp superhero, The Rocketeer, will be landing on Disney Plus some 30 years after the release of the original film adaptation. The story follows Cliff Seckard, a stunt pilot, and his alter ego, The Rocketeer. The original film failed pretty hard at the box office, but it did maintain somewhat of a cult following in the aftermath. The new film will be called The Return of the Rocketeer and will be written by Ed Rickort of Now You See Me, Jessica Jones, and Wayward Pines. All three of those things I thoroughly enjoyed. And I do remember watching the original Rocketeer like back in the day when I was a wee lad. But that was before I actually cared if things were good or not. So I couldn't tell you if it was actually good or not.
That's such a true statement.
I mean, some would argue that I still can't tell what's good or not today. So the next article we have some news on a sequel to the latest Disney Jungle Cruise movie. Unsurprisingly, Jungle Cruise 2 has been confirmed as Jungle Cruise officially tops 100 million, which is pretty good. 35 million of which was raked in on Disney Plus within the first 3 days of release. The star-studded cast, including Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt, are likely to return for the sequel. Look for Jungle Cruise in stores on November 16th. Haven't seen it. I don't know if I will, but it does have Jesse Plemons in it. So,
yeah,
I don't know if you're familiar with that guy, but I enjoy Jesse Plemons.
Probably if you put a face to it.
You'd know him if you saw him.
In my mind, I just kind of blend this and Jumanji, both with Dwayne in it together, and I probably will watch them in the same cadence, like someday when it's on, or when you absolutely need something to watch.
Right. Do you recall the Black Mirror episode with where it's like Star Trek and it was a game and he trapped cloned people into the game or whatever? It's like the SS Enterprise. I forget the name of it.
No, I don't think
you never saw that episode. Oh,
no.
Well, he was the main character in that episode, and he's been in
Gotcha.
Breaking Bad and a handful of other things. Anyways, moving on, we have some gaming news because, remember, we're now a gaming podcast. So
allegedly,
lots of gaming news coming up. First, starting with a rumor that Game Boy games could be coming to the Switch. So this rumor reports that like the NES and SNES games that have been available to Nintendo Switch Online customers for a while now, there could be they could be joined by Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Nate Drake, who is a Nintendo insider, not to be confused with Nathan Drake, who is a PlayStation character of the ages.
How unoriginal.
I know, right? But anyways, Nate says he believes an announcement is coming soon, a statement that has been echoed by other sources. Game Boy offered some of the great games back in the day, so the emulator will be a welcomed sight for many fans, including myself. I would be so hyped if this actually came to fruition, and I think it will, because I have since I found this article a couple of weeks ago, I've seen big sites like IGN and stuff reporting the same thing. So I think there's a little validity to this rumor, and that would make me so happy if I could play you guessed it probably, some of the old retro Pokemon games on my Switch instead of running emulators on my phone or my PC, I would be so happy.
I want that for you because
Yeah.
that's the ease of gaming you need to have in your life.
I know, right?
I hate it when you accidentally delete your ROM,
dude,
and you lose your game.
Don't get me started on that. I had another tragedy happen while I was on vacation, and it was not good. I was big sad. But sticking with Nintendo news, there may be a Nintendo Direct happening soon. So this rumor, of course, we're basically the rumor boys at this point. But we may see a Nintendo Direct get announced this month. The last Nintendo Direct took place at E3 back in June of this year, and this has led people to speculate that the next Nintendo Direct is on the way soon. While there's only been speculation and chatter on Twitter up until this point, the release is consistent with precedent. A Direct has been released every September since 2016. And, going with the last little article we reported on, this would, Game Boy Color titles coming to Nintendo Switch Online would be a marvelous announcement to make at a Nintendo Direct. But, we're halfway through September, so times are running out for that Direct.
It certainly is. The year is going to be here closing soon, and October will be upon us very soon. And we always have a fun October.
Mm-hmm.
Moving onward and forward to some potentially more serious news than Nintendo and like Game Boys and stuff like that. But why the Pentagon's probably drooling over the upcoming Age of Empires 4 launch. Age of Empires 4 is set to release this October, coming right on up. The real-time strategy game is being developed by Relic and Xbox Game Studios. The folks at Microsoft have recently discussed the game's AI and its use of machine learning to teach the AI to beat even the best of us. The merciless, quotes, difficulty will feature an unbeatable AI. Dun, dun, dun.
Nick's like, hold my drink.
Yeah, right. This unbeatable AI and Microsoft's ties to the U.S. government have led some to contemplate how this machine learning and AI tech could be shared with the Pentagon for military purposes. While the idea is completely theoretical at this point, some people are musing over what this would mean morally and ethically. That's some pretty deep stuff, and I mean, Age of Empires is some serious business, but
yeah,
that's a whole new level.
Telling you, these people need to watch that dang episode of Black Mirror with the robot dogs that have basically killed all humans.
Is that what that episode of Rick and Morty is based off of?
Possibly.
Anyway,
I need to watch Rick and Morty.
Yeah, you do. Well, no, that's like season 1, dude.
I know, but I need to.
You need to do that too. I need to
catch up.
Maybe we'll talk about that on this week's Thursday episode of What's Watching, where Mike and I will catch up on what we've been watching.
Hey, that was a great plug.
Yeah, you got it. Moving on to some sad news, speculation. But the theory here is the current generation console shortage may last until 2023. If you haven't been able to get your hands on the latest generation consoles yet, there may not be any relief in sight. Semiconductor shortages are still affecting Microsoft and Sony's ability to solve their supply issues. This chip shortage could last well into 2023. This was extra apparent, and I kind of touched on this story last Thursday's episode where my friend was over and we were in the room where my PlayStation is, and he took a moment to look at it and inspect it and gaze at it. I'm like, wow, that's right. Because not many people or, not everyone has seen one in real life.
Right.
Because you can't just go to the store and pick one off the shelf. I don't even know if they have the demo ones at the stores for you to play.
Yeah, honestly. Dude. And you got one, bro.
I did. I got, being a show boy, it has its perks, What can I say?
Yeah. Yeah, take what we can get.
That's right.
And you got a PS5.
That's right.
But we have one more little piece of gaming news for you guys. And I think this is one that you guys touched on in the last episode as well. And that is the Alan Wake remaster. So the Xbox 360 classic Alan Wake will be re-released later this fall. Has it come out already? Or is it?
Alan Wake, no, they just announced it
okay.
last Thursday at the Sony
okay.
reveal showcase.
Right. That's right. The remastered version will be available on the Xbox Series S and X PC for the first time. Or no, not for the first time. PlayStation as well for the first time. So we got Xbox, PC, and PlayStation.
Correct.
The original DLC chapters will be included along with the original or with additional director commentary. A sequel may also arrive sometime down the road. And that's exciting that while I have not played Alan Wake, and I'm actually kind of bummed about this because I bought Alan Wake for like, I don't know, a couple bucks on Steam 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And now they're remastering it.
Yeah, but this one's going to sell for like $30-$40, so you might as well just play the
right. I'm just going to play the original. Yeah. But I ever since playing Control, that got me interested in this because they're kind of like linked and connected, universe wise and stuff. So yeah, a sequel sounds awesome.
Big stuff happening in that little ethos.
Yes. Speaking of shared universes, we have some MCU news. Just only two this week. But the first is a pretty big one, exciting stuff if you're a big fan of the MCU, and that is the Avengers 5 is officially happening. Like there was a chance it would not happen.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Breaking news. I have no idea what that breaking news sound was, but apparently sounds like a horse galloping. But
you need to record that bit, and then we need some sound bites here.
Sounds like a great Showboys clip potential right there. But yeah, as if there's any doubt, Avengers 5 is happening and already in development. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige confirmed as much in an interview with Collider, while noting that there needed to be a reasonable amount of time from the end game to start a new saga. Quote. While we shouldn't expect to see Avengers 5 anytime soon, the recent slew of MCU films and TV series have been excellent in their own right, while slowly building us towards Avengers 5. And that they have. There's been a lot of teases and Easter eggs and introductions of characters and et cetera. Normal MCU stuff.
Is this the most movies between Avengers films ever?
No.
No? No. Or what about movie and shows now that we have shows in the mix? Like, I just feel like there's a lot of content since the last event. Well, I guess it was Endgame.
So Endgame, and then there was Spider-Man Homecoming. Or no, Far From Home. And then there was Spider-Man, then everything, like the world went to crap and everything got closed down, and then we had WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, Black Widow. I mean, by the time Avengers 5 comes around, probably will be the most movies, if that's what you were asking. So
yeah, it's like space between, like, content between Avenger films.
Yeah, because I mean, there's like a crap load, coming soon. Shang-Chi just released, so I need to see that. Heard it was pretty good.
And another one.
But yeah, so breaking news: Marvel Avengers is still going to happen, and Marvel's doing Marvel things.
Can you do the soundbite again?
No. No, but we have one more piece of Marvel news, and that is about Tom Holland and Spider-Man. So Tom Holland isn't the only absence from the What If, series there, but he may be the most notable. While Robert Downey Jr. and ScarJo have said their goodbyes to the MCU, Holland is still returning in Spider-Man No Way Home. This makes his absence in What If a bit of a mystery. Hudson Thames has been tasked with playing the animated Spider-Man. Thames previously had roles in Mad Men and The Secret Life of an American Teenager. I think, honestly, this article is just a bit clickbaity.
Yeah.
You know? Because it's just, a different voice on an animated show.
Well, yeah, I feel that way about that entire, like, any animation is fair game to have someone else voice act it, but also it's Spider-Man, who is literally about to like collide with the other Spider-Mans in the multiverse. So
yeah,
walk it home, buddy.
Right. And we already know, like, Spider-Man's fate in the MCU is already kind of up in the air anyways because of Sony and, the whole Spider-Man rights issue between Sony and Marvel. And by Marvel, I mean Marvel Studios.
Big rip.
So, yeah. Anyways, moving along.
Can I get a soundbite for Star Boys?
Star Boys. Sorry.
Welcome to the returning segment of the newscast where we cover Star Wars news, but only two, and they're both rumors. So still a little bit of a dry well there. My algorithm's all messed up. I must not be getting the actual news, or there's just nothing to report. But anyway, rumors believe The Mandalorian is wrapping up after its upcoming third season, or is it? Other rumors state that while The Mandalorian, quotes, may be ending in name after the third season, the story and characters will continue under a different title. Almost, well, duh. All rumors up until this point are unconfirmed, but this does seem plausible as the show is incredibly popular with plenty of potential material to continue long beyond the third season. I do like and don't like this article because obviously we've theorized on the whole idea of more so like an anthology series with The Mandalorian, just because it does touch so much. It really is kind of like the backbone to the Mandoverse, if you were to say. So, and I would even say the Book of Boba is going to be that sort of variation of this content. So, call it what you want. It's just going to be more Star Wars ongoing, but I definitely appreciate the theory here.
Yeah, Favs needs to just hire us because that Mando idea that we had a while back was a gem.
Oh, yeah. Be like, listen, Disney, I get what you guys are doing, but come on.
You're doing it wrong.
Anthology series is where it's at.
Yes.
I think only we have really kind of pointed that out to the wider internet about this whole anthology series.
Because they're all sleeping on it.
Yeah, everyone's sleeping on
it. Such a good idea.
It's like an anthology series metaverse.
Dude, there's so many Mandalorians. There's so many Mandalorians that you could anthologize.
Yeah. And make
Since
up
I can't talk, I'm just gonna
Mike is still recovering from his vacation. He has not had enough sleep to fully mend the lost brain cells.
Exactly.
Moving on to our second show, our Star Boys bit.
I'm rubbing off on you.
also Mandalorian related. So, related to the Mandalorian news, Jon Favreau and Lucasfilm may have differing opinions on how to move forward with the Mandalorian. Favreau is reportedly interested in ending the Mandalorian after the next season or two, which puts it at season 3, like the above rumor theorized, while Lucasfilm seems to see the Mandalorian continue on in perpetuity. I did not say that word right, but you get what I'm saying. Forever. Perpetuity. There it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm with Favreau on this. End it at season 3, keep it nice, clean, and tight, and then do another thing.
We could even you could stretch it to 4, but like
4. Fair,
what's wrong with? I mean, I like the Rebels, style.
Oh yeah.
3-4 seasons. Tell your story, end it. Move on to a new story.
Right, and Rebels is going to continue in Ahsoka.
Right. Exactly.
So I mean, they're unrelated, but they're related. Is that an anthology? No.
No.
I think you need
it has to be like the same, like Fargo, or
right.
like Black Mirror.
Right.
They could all technically
True
exist.
Detective.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Anyways.
I'm done on that bit. You know what I'm saying. Mandalorian's awesome, and they're going to make more related, named, or whatever. But in the Disney vein of things, Disney is to debut the rest of their 2021 films exclusively in theaters. Done.
That's me.
Applause.
That's a round of applause
from Mike.
Good. That's how it should be.
Doesn't matter to me anyways. They still wait 3 months to put it off the $30 upcharge. So
right. No one's going to pay for that.
Yeah, it's not really any different. I might as well go see it for $10 at the theater.
Right.
Anyway, Eternals, West Side Story, and the remaining 2021 Disney films will be released in theaters exclusively for at least 45 days. Theater chains will likely rejoice this decision, as did Mike, as they have chastened Disney for the concurrent theater and Disney Plus releases, as well as ScarJo. However, it remains to be seen whether the exclusivity will actually attract people to the theaters. And note from our glorious writer, Cody, will happily await the digital release after the 45-day mark. I'm with you there, Cody. But yeah,
go to the theater, people.
No.
Just do it safely. If
it's
take your precautions if you want.
It's not even that. We don't go to the theater in the first place, so it's just moving things back into our court.
Boo.
Yeah.
You guys all suck.
We don't go. They need to make the theaters more enticing, like free.
Just can't even.
Moving on to the last article of the newscast. Got a slightly shorter one here for you. Mike was off off his news feed, if you will, for the past week, which we'll forgive him this time. And moving on to the anti-theater platform, Netflix, Vikings Valhalla will release sometime in 2022 with 3 seasons ordered up front, sort of.
Wow.
The sequel to the History Channel's Vikings is expected to be immensely popular, and Netflix hopes. I'm a fan of this because I watched that show, and that show is good. It was really good, like the first 3 seasons, and then the second 2 or 3 seasons, but definitely worth watching.
How does it compare to the one that I like? I can't remember the name of Last Kingdom.
I would say it's more grounded in it's more in the vein of kind of like 300, how it's more focused on the legends,
exaggerated a bit,
slightly exaggerated. They take a lot of liberties with things because they're going more so off the myths of these characters, and they kind of stay more true to kind of like Viking culture. Not that Kingdoms doesn't, but the way I take Kingdoms is it is a slightly more modern dramatization of it, just with the humor and things like that. True. So they have they're very similar, but they slightly differ. Both good.
I'll have to check out Vikings because I love Kingdoms.
Yeah, I think we both need to equally watch the other one because I haven't seen a lot of Vikings or a lot of Kingdoms, and you haven't seen any Vikings. So
need to make it happen.
Add
it to the list.
Add it to the sans. But first, you need to watch The Wire.
You're welcome. Yeah, true. Can we take a second here?
Oh yes.
Actually, you do the honors because I have the only thing I know him from is his short stint in Community.
And
and the assorted other random things I've seen him in, but not the big hitters that you guys have been talking about.
No, right. And the nice thing about Community is he was on there because of his cult or very popular to for his acting ability. But just like the honor, Michael K. Williams, he passed away last week, very sadly. I believe it was Thursday or Friday. I did not catch the cause of death, but that doesn't really matter because he was a fantastic actor and has played many iconic roles, from early times on The Wire to Boardwalk Empire to short stints in Community. He's kind of all over the place. And he's one of those where he was, he got popular in his kind of like middle life and made a name for himself and was doing a lot. So sad to see it happen.
Indeed. So we'll just have a moment of silence. All right. Rest in peace, my friend.
I was going to let you break that because I was like, I've never really broken a moment of silence before. I think Mike's good at that.
Same, me either. That's the first time I've ever done a moment of silence. Like, led one?
Right.
Question mark? Is that what I think that's what I just did.
I'm sorry. I led it and I made you finish it. That's okay, though.
Yeah, teamwork. Makes the dream work.
That's right. Well, once again, thank you for joining us. We hope you found this both entertaining and informative. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe everywhere you consume our content. Find all the places we publish our content on our link tree,
which is linktr.ee/showboyspodcast. Be sure to join our Discord server and become a member of the Showboys community to hang out with the Showboys staff and other listeners, as well as get some cool perks such as being able to see all of the articles we had to choose from for this episode of the newscast, but weren't able to squeeze into the episode. But again, spoiler alert, I think all the articles made it in this week. Regardless, all article links covered in the episode will be available in Discord.
If you would like us to cover anything that we covered on tonight's episode in more detail or include in a future show, please comment here. We're available, or email us at showboyspodcast@gmail.com. Or, as Mike said, join us in our Showboys Discord for all the community fun.
That's right.
Have a great evening, everyone.
See you Thursday.